Why do people sabotage themselves? What causes self-sabotaging conduct varies depending on the individual. However, self-sabotage is typically motivated by fear, which leads to toxic perfectionism or repeated procrastination. These activities increase anxiety, causing people to ponder what-ifs and worst-case situations. People who have distorted views about themselves, others, and the world may feel compelled to avoid emotional suffering such as rejection and failure. A harsh inner critic can sometimes lead to persons engaging in ineffective behaviors or avoiding beneficial action. Our natural negative bias contributes to the formation of distorted views. To keep us safe, our brain constantly scans for possible hazards. As a result, we keep an eye out for trouble, hang on to old issues, and imagine new ones in order to avoid bodily or mental harm without fully understanding it. Childhood trauma, poor family ties, or dysfunctional attachment patterns can all contribute to this sense of peril. Such events can lead to feelings of desertion and a weakened sense of safety and security, which can contribute to self-sabotaging behavior. How to avoid self-sabotage? Self-sabotage is not a natural part of your personality, nor does it define or diminish your qualities and abilities. As a result, it is feasible to replace self-sabotage with self-advancement. Begin with the basics and progressively add more strategies of self-improvement until your inner critic is no longer impeding your achievement and pleasure. Here are 8 suggestions to help you quit self-sabotaging. 1. Increase your self-awareness. Spend time in self-reflection to become more conscious of your own self-sabotage. For example, keep a diary and record your habits and thought patterns to see if you can figure out where they originate from. Check in with yourself multiple times during the day. As you gain self-awareness, you may become more deliberate about where you need to make adjustments. 2. Consider your options before leaping. This old aphorism is applicable to modern-day self-saboteurs. When you observe negative actions, thoughts, and feelings, consider if they are benefiting or harming you. We sometimes feel forced to do, or avoid doing, something out of fear, so taking a minute to consider if something will hold you back or propel you ahead might help you avoid self-sabotage. 3. Develop specific goals and an action plan. Meaningful objectives enable you to live with purpose. Pair meaningful objectives with precise activities to make them even more potent. When making objectives, keep your core values in mind. What would you like to see more of in your life? What gives meaning and purpose to life? What makes you feel alive and energized? Then, identify what tiny measures you will take to achieve the goal you have set. 4. Make minor modifications. Positive activity defeats self-defeating action, but keep in mind that habits are best modified in tiny increments. Consider making modest changes. Allow yourself time to modify a habit by replacing one thought or activity per day. 5. Make friends with yourself. The inner critic is a major cause of self-sabotage. Stopping self-sabotage requires replacing habitual, self-critical thoughts with more caring ones. Develop a compassionate, accepting attitude toward oneself by recognizing your emotions and faults as natural parts of the human experience. 6. Recognize and embrace your strengths. Everyone possesses character qualities that, when found, acknowledged, and embraced, may help them prosper. Consider your strengths, finding things you excel at, attitudes you cherish, and good feelings you experience. When are you at your best? Knowing your strengths and putting them to use at least once a day might help you create self-love. 7. Develop your mindfulness skills. Mindfulness is a style of living that entails being completely present and anchored in the present moment. It aids in the separation of the past from the present, as well as ideas from reality. This, in turn, assists you in deciding how to respond to a difficult circumstance or individual. 8. Seek the help of a mental health therapist. A therapist may gently assist you toward a greater understanding of yourself. They also provide advice and tactics for dealing with self-sabotaging ideas and improving your emotional self-care. Find a therapist with whom you are comfortable and begin the process of changing your life. When should you seek professional help for self-sabotage? Working with a mental health expert might be beneficial if you are stuck in a cycle of self-destructive thoughts and actions. With the help of a therapist, you may understand the underlying ideas that cause self-sabotage and acquire tools and methods to overcome them. Use an internet directory to locate the best therapist for you. Finally, some thoughts. Self-sabotage is not a defect in one's personality. Rather, it is a series of actions that are frequently the result of fear-based negative thoughts that prohibit you from accomplishing your goals in one or more areas. Be patient and seek expert assistance if you become stuck. The life you desire is within your grasp,